you know, Dick Gregory, you know, dead and gone. And luckily, you know, Dick Gregory had money. And a lot of people looked out, you know, for him during the 80s, you know, 70s and 80s or what have you. And he made good money. And he didn't have to really coon out, and he didn't really have to go do things to against black people for money. He had his own money. He didn't have to really rely on so much. You know, he was able to speak his mind, and he had the respect of a lot of people, even in the entertainment industry. A lot of people respected him. And it's going to be some stuff that's going to come out about his stuff. I want to get into all that, but, you know, most likely it's true. But you'll see it down the line. But, you know, Dick Gregory dead and gone. And, you know, you have so many people who don't understand how important it is to move the right way as a black leader. You know, I don't consider myself being this huge black leader. I do what I do. I speak about what I speak about. And you have so many people who are caught up in this entertainment industry and what they see on TV and what they see on the internet. And a lot of people always ask me, you know, you should do a Breakfast Club, you should do this, you should do interviews, and want me to step into this role that they see people do on TV. And that's exactly the opposite of what I want to do, because there's a lot of rules, unwritten rules that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of things change when you go a certain route, and I understand this, and I knew this a long time ago. But there are rules, and there are things that you should stay away from. There are lanes that you should go in, lanes you shouldn't touch. I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. You're not going to see me doing stuff like everybody else. It's just not me. It's just not the smart thing to do, especially at this time. So, you know, we have a lack of true leadership, and the people who are trying to help, they have a lack of support. And that's the facts. So again, you know, we look at social media being attacked and being used as a weapon against us very subtly. A lot of people will have never picked up on the fact that social media is now geared towards fueling this race war. A lot of people didn't see that, but you can understand how it is when you look at certain things. And as I talked about, you see them pop up on your timeline, even though you looked at them outside of Facebook. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. So one of the things I was trying to do in understanding, one, when I started putting up videos on YouTube, and I talked about this before, if you get a lot of followers, you get to a certain point on YouTube, you can make money off of YouTube. YouTube will pay you for the ad space. Because one, they're going to put ads on your video anyway in the beginning. So they might as well pay. You might as well get paid for it. So you have a lot of people who was getting paid off of YouTube. They suckered in a lot of people. And before you could put up anything that you want, I foreseen this coming. I knew it wasn't going to last. And I said it. I said, this is not going to last. No way it's going to last. Because when you understand that the consciousness of America, the consciousness of black people, and a lot of people have been awakened due to YouTube, due to the internet. There's no way they're going to allow us to keep doing this. And I seen it a long time ago, and I knew it was going to happen. I got into place my program, my system to combat that. So what they did was they dropped the bomb. And now, when you put up certain videos, it's automatically flagged by YouTube. Some videos get completely taken down off YouTube. Some videos get flagged and demonetized to the point where now, as I said before, you have a lot of these people who want to be leaders, who want to speak out, who want to be truthers and talk. They have to now decide whether or not they want to get paid and feed their family, or they want to not put out the truth. Either you're going to put out the truth and not feed your family, or you're going to put out something that's content friendly, user friendly, or they have another name for it, but friendly to the people that's giving you money, to put it like that. You have to make a decision. And this is what they forced us into, and I've seen it coming, which is why I wanted to create a new social media site to combat that. Because when you take a stand, when you separate from all this bullshit and do your own thing, and you start bringing everybody to the new thing, they don't have a choice but to act right. And this is what people haven't done, because YouTube is everything. you try to go against YouTube and do something different, that people are going to say, oh, you corny, you just trying to rip off YouTube. But I understood, one, black people, we need our own platform where we can speak the truth and we can put out all the content we want to put out and not have to worry about, it being censored, and have to worry about them not giving us money or not making money off of things that we put out. Because one, if you are getting support for what you're doing, if people are supporting what you're doing, you have people who subscribe to your channel who say, I want this content, I want to see it. There's no reason why they should not allow that to happen. So you really got to think about how sneaky that is. You got people who's asking for your content and they are not giving it to them. So again, as I said, I've seen this coming, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to start. And I didn't want to really get into all of the details, because if I get into all the details about what this site will do, which I'm working on a patent for the programming, if I got into details about what this site will do, it will be hindered. It will be stopped in some way. Some things you got to do subtly. You got to move differently. You can't be out there just because you got something big speaking about it, because we understand what happens when we do things that's good for black people. But I have come up with a smart plan. A smart legal plan, a smart plan surrounding everything by legal loopholes and legal things that's really going to help the site do what it's supposed to do. One of the reasons why I'm here in Sweden, why I'm outside of America, is because once this site launches, once I get it off the ground, I can do it from here. It will be just smarter to actually launch from here and have, everything set up here, so I don't have to worry about something happening legally in America to take the site away from me. So I've made steps. This is a process that's going to take years. It's going to take a while to get done. And, again, it's one of those things where people don't understand what you're trying to do. We have been so brainwashed by the system. A lot of people walking around with that. We see that Negro thinking, that nigger thinking, and thinking that every time a black person does something, it's some kind of ulterior motive behind it, especially when somebody's asking for help or asking for some kind of a donation or something to help out their cause. I understand this, so I don't really jump on people too much, and because I'm not getting donations. And I put up a GoFundMe for this whole plan. And again, as I said, I didn't want to get too much into details about it because I didn't want to put everything out there. But it's something that's really going to help us grow and allow us to do what we need to do. But at the same time, give us things that we need economically. Bring people together to understand how much a bank is needed for black people. So if you have black people on the site that's geared towards helping them out, that has a timeline that's flooded with useful things, useful opportunities for black people. But at the same time, still having entertainment, still having things that's fun, still having educational things, but giving us what we need. We're not getting that from Facebook. We're getting exactly what we need to keep us arguing and to keep us destroying ourselves and destroying each other. We're not getting that. So this is something that I wanted to do and to put out there to really help us. So once it's off the ground, once everything's done, I can, test it here, start it up here and give people the understanding of how to use it. What is it here for? What can it do? It's so many different black companies, black organizations that's interested in a lot of things to help their business grow and to be able to put out opportunities for black people. We just haven't been able to take advantage of them. A lot of these organizations exist in different black communities, but they need room to grow. They need people to know that they exist. They need people to understand that, donating money to a lot of these organizations, how it can help everybody out. As I said before, understanding how important black banks is. Black banks that is not controlled by white people who don't have our best interests. We need a bank that we control. A bank that's not going to be controlled by a certain group of people that's elected, but by the very people that's investing the money in the bank itself. And this is how the Freedmen Bank started out. The people had a piece of the bank. They own a piece of the bank on top of the money that they deposited in the bank. as I said before, the problem was you had these 50 board of trustees, these 50 white men that wasn't really for the interests of these black people. And again, had Lincoln been alive, things probably would have been different. But this is the type of situation that Black Wall Street learned from and was able to grow. We are not looking at what Black Wall Street did to grow. A lot of people are not looking at it and saying, well, we need to take this route. A lot of people are looking at it and saying, well, that was a long time ago. You got to understand, white wealth is still being generated the same way. They just got a bunch of new ones. But it's still growing the same way it was growing way back then. It's not hard to understand how economics work, but you need a bank. You need resources. You need to understand what's important to black people other than twerk videos and hip hop videos and a bunch of bullshit that's designed to keep us exactly where we're at. And, as I said, Dick Gregory, luckily, he didn't have to rely on people to help him out with situations. He was able to just speak his mind and put out a lot of information. And you have other people trying to do so. Even with Dr. Umar and his school, and I really like to speak on other people and what they're doing, from the conscious community. But Dr. Umar, I mean, come on. So many people came at Dr. Umar saying, oh, what happened to the school? He didn't get enough money for the school. I believe he was asking for $4 million. I, on 5 different occasions, donated money, and I'll continue to donate money. But he didn't reach the goal. He didn't get enough money. So, of course, he wasn't able to open the school. It's not some kind of scam. And again, we have been conditioned to really hate each other, to hate on black people that separate themselves from the hood, from the ghetto, and start doing something great. If it's not a rapper or actor or some kind of entertainer, it doesn't get the support. And it's crazy to see people, a lot of people that put up these, funny videos and put up a lot of stuff that's really not helping black people. A lot of people have GoFundMes, and you have a lot of these people getting crazy amounts of money for nothing. For what? For entertainment purposes. And it's crazy, but the people who's actually trying to help black people get nothing. And they get talked about, and they get, they buy into what people say to try to destroy them. You have black people turn on a lot of people who try to help them out and believe what has been put out there to basically hinder them. And, it's crazy. And this is why I say a lot of people, we don't understand how brainwashed we are and how much we destroy ourselves and each other based off of this, programming. And it's crazy. So, I don't agree 100% with everything Dr. Umar puts out and that he says, but I understand the importance of that school. I understand the importance of his overall agenda and the good he's trying to do for black people. So, it's just something that, we got to look at. Now, again, with my situation, as I said before, they are censoring a lot. And some things you can pick up on me being, a computer guy. I understand, how they have something in place to make sure everybody doesn't get the content. Only certain content, case in point, when I put out for the Mystery School Volume 3. If you look at the amount of views for just the promo video to show people that it's out for sale, because of the video content, because of the fact it has the links and everything, and it's a short video, almost like the length of a commercial, it is not being put out the way other videos are. So you see this video has over 2,000 views, just the promo. But when you look at the video, that's the preview for this video, it has over 11,000 views, meaning more people seen it, less people seeing the actual promo. Now we can say that, well, a lot of people just don't really care about the promo video, but that's weird that they don't, but they generated so much interest in the preview video. So you can see how they are not showing in the timeline or showing people any of the promo videos. And this happens with Facebook as well. I actually pay Facebook for promotion. You've probably seen it on the timeline, or probably not. But you can see how this is just a small example of how they're stopping us from being able to put out what we need to put out. This is oppression. This is how you oppress people. This is how you silence people. This is how you stop us from growing. So now, and eventually what's going to happen is all this stuff is going to be gone. My channel is going to be gone. All my videos are going to be gone. Other people's videos will be gone as well. And they're going to come up with some kind of law, some kind of bullshit to make that happen. This was the first step of that. So, of course, they're not going to allow this to continue and allow us to keep putting out this information. You can look online, you see a lot of the videos from so many YouTubers about what's going on and how, this content-friendly or user-friendly bullshit has drastically changed their YouTube channel and their situations. And I seen it coming, which is why I didn't rely on it, which is why I didn't really get into all that, because I knew it wasn't going to last. But I understood that we would need a site to do what we need to do to really put out content and pull resources, something that we can have that everybody could be on. And if we're all on this social media site, and if we're saying this is what we want, this is the kind of content that we want, this is where they have to go. This is where advertisers have to come, and they got to pay the money. And then that money we could use to fund what we need to fund. And that was part of my plan. If you understood what I was talking about. I didn't really want to get into it. But let's just say everybody left YouTube. Everybody left Facebook and went to an alternative site. They generate their money, Facebook, YouTube, what have you, off of these ads. This is how they get paid. If nobody is there, where are they going to get their money from? So all of these corporations and companies, they understand how important it is to advertise where everybody is at. Everybody is online. This is the future, people. This is how we can move. This is how we can grow. So if this alternative site has all the people now, guess what? They got to come to this alternative site and say, hey, we want to advertise here. Sure you can. Now, if this alternative site was going to be geared towards economically helping black people by, the money that it pulls in from a lot of these corporations to help fund a lot of the situations and a lot of the programs that we would have, then this is how we can grow. This is something that wouldn't just benefit me, but it would benefit so many other people. So this is not just a selfish thing that I'm trying to do. It's something that I've seen that's going to eventually happen, and some people are going to benefit from it, some are not. We are not going to benefit from it if we don't act accordingly and make moves. So this is what's heading down the pipeline. I'm trying to stay ahead of it. So I get a lot of questions about the GoFundMe page, and a lot of people talk about, what it's really about, what am I trying to do? And again, as I said, I don't really want to get into too much of the details because it's important to keep it sort of secret and to allow it just to happen and to, launch it in a place where it can't be touched and where it's protected and, surrounded by laws that can protect it and to keep it from people controlling it or hindering it. So now, enough about all that. It's hard to be genuine and speak the truth about anything involving money without people thinking you have an ulterior motive, as I said before. But this is something, as I said, that's going to get done. Whether or not, I reach the goal of the GoFundMe, it's something that I'll get done. I have people that have my back. I'm putting my own money into it. It will get done eventually. It just depends on how long it will take. The GoFundMe was to help speed things along and to get it to a certain point where I can launch a prototype and test it. That was the point of all that. But, it'll happen. But as I said, for people who actually, paid attention, who stayed and watched the entire video, I said I was going to disappear for a while, which I had. Went to Egypt. Spain, a couple of days in Greece, been traveling, and a lot more traveling to do, a lot more coming up. And I go out to do a lot of, field research and to go look at a lot of things, which I'm going to be doing coming up. Spending some time in Africa. And it's to really, to know, to really know and to see things for myself. And to validate my own personal research. These are things that has to be done. because I'm one of those people where I just can't see it in a book. I need to go there. I need to see it for myself. And as I said, I got a lot of research done in Kemet. And a lot of things I'll be talking about later. But, it was a good trip. It was cool, going back there again, standing on the pyramids, seeing some of the things that I've seen. And it's cool, when you go out and you see the world, you see a lot of things that, that's completely different from, your normal everyday life. But it's a lot more places to visit and things to do. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who's been supporting and who has been, keeping up with the DVDs and everything I try to do. Lower the price and change the prices and try to get people to get caught up. And, it's very little support. And as I said, I don't really blame you guys. I understand that a lot of people are just not seeing the ads. It's just what it is, because I get a lot of emails, as I said before, from people who just haven't seen it, who didn't know it was a Saturn Satan 3, who didn't know about Mystery School, who didn't know about the website. So to me, that's crazy, what they're doing to basically hinder the process and to keep, to keep knowledge from people, to keep the oppression going, because it's just crazy. There's no way the number should be where it's at, and versus the amount of people that I actually hear from. So it's crazy. But I understand it's not a lot of people's fault. But the book, again, a lot of people always ask about the book, and again, the book is an ongoing process. It's now 3 books. As I said this before. The first book, which basically had to get redone. This process takes anywhere from 6 months to a year when doing it right. This is like so important, this first book. It's very important how it has to be done right. And there are little legal loopholes that I got to go through because I have to get permission for certain things that's in the book. So I'm going through that. So, there was a problem with the first publisher, which is gone now, which I have a new one. Self-publishing second book, which I'm trying to launch at the same time. And there's a part 1 of the third book, a part 1. So as things develop, as I get true dates and when I really know it's really going to come out, I'll start talking about it more, start getting into it more, because it's stuff that is really going to help us out. And stuff that's really going to really help the conscious community and help people as far as getting actual knowledge that they need to debate biblical religion and to really understand facts about that. So, as I said before, I want people to have a book that they can, a go-to book that they can go into and see facts and see primary sources to be able to refute biblical religion and religion itself, to have facts and to understand about real history surrounding it, and so much more. So it will be out, and I'm sorry for the delay. Trust me, I'm frustrated with the process, and I've been through a lot with it. So it's crazy, but it's going to get done, and it'll be out, and it'll be definitely worth the wait. So. Saturn Satan is done. The entire series, 1 to 6, is done, out the way. Mystery School 4 will be out soon. And, a few more DVDs and a lot more videos on YouTube, and get caught back up on that. So, I want to just let people know, definitely back. And there's a lot more to come. And appreciate the support and the people who do donate, and everybody new who subscribed, a lot of new subscribers. Follow me again at The Real Merkabah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. A lot more pictures that I didn't put up. You'll see, if you didn't see them on Facebook, you'll see them on Instagram. Everything that everywhere I travel, you'll see on Instagram. I'll put up, I'll talk about. But follow me definitely at The Real Merkabah, Instagram, Twitter. And yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch and support. I don't think it's anything that I left out, but I really wanted to get into this whole thing because you got to pay attention to see what's going on and understand why certain things are not shown to keep us separated, why they're not showing the white people that's being killed, why they're not showing, all the violence against white people from the police. Everything is done to keep this whole argument going. Pay attention to what's going on. Understand this is a setup. Act accordingly. Don't fall for what they're putting out on the news and everything that they're saying to try to, separate. We can't get this done without unity. The only way we have ever beaten them is by uniting. Unity, not just black and white. When you pay attention and be real with yourself, and I'm serious about this, we cannot get this done alone. Africa, a lot of people always say we could just go there and take Africa, and it's not as easy as you think it is. You got to understand how this stuff really works and what it's going to take to get this done. And, when you step back and look at it, we are just not willing to invest the time and money into making it happen. A lot of people just want to complain until they die. They don't want real change. They just want to scream until somebody listens to them and then calm down and go about their life as, working till they die. A lot of people don't want real change. Some people are here who are fighting for real change and willing to pay the price and willing to do what it takes to cause it. And you got some people who pretending to be conscious, who debating to be conscious, who don't know what's going on, who just want to fit in, who want to jump into what everybody else is doing. A lot of people struggling with the whole conscious thing and don't understand what it's really about. Because if you're saying you're conscious, but at the same time you're promoting so much negativity, you don't know what you're doing. So there's a lot of people flirting with that and don't understand what consciousness is really about and don't understand what all this stuff is about. So again, I try to teach, I try to put out everything to get people to understand how deep and serious this is. It's big. And it's not just about this lifetime, but, the rest of your lifetime here on this planet. And it entails so much. So when you understand, what's going on, you act accordingly. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Thanks to everybody who took the time to purchase part 6 and who has been supporting. See you guys next video.